We're probably not getting the 300,000 this year, according to the timing and everything. I would probably be picking that out next year. So we've increased the budget for that. And
What's that 300, what's the plan?
Is it the property thing?
yeah, but she wants to give it to Lum.
Yeah.
But we're leaving with the 100,000 with shelter, public utilities. We're putting 20,000 because one thing I don't have is the printout of what currently have. We are way exceeded as far as public utilities in the 840. So this is a backup public utility in case we exceed that.
So these light items are now within rainy day?
Part of them are, yes. Because we're going to be using the 840 assistance, but if we know we're going to have to go over, we don't have to actually ask for more to increase that. We're going to take it out of the rainy day.
Okay.
And always I prefer not having the light items here, but having.
The reason we're doing that is, part of it is that CIP, remember the rainy days,
Capital improvement.
unrestricted fund, so we have to,
So
Yeah.
this will restrict it.
this will restrict it. If
Have
we
to
say
have
this
no
is,
line items there for it to be restricted.
yeah,
Mhm.
we have to say this is what we're gonna
What
use
it's
it for.
And then that makes it protected.
Right, because it's going to exceed the amount of money we'll be using all the rainy day up by the end of 26.
Okay.
And by putting it this way, we have that ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The
Is it
other,
required to use all of the rainy day by 26?
unless we want to lose it. Yeah.
Well, it can be restricted. If we restrict it, it's safe.
Yeah. And that's our plan,
That's
is
the
to
CIP,
help
yeah.
protect it so it doesn't get taken.
Well, no, I think that I'm hearing the plan is to spend it.
The plan is to spend it.
Plan to spend it, put it in lines that are protected.
Well, by making it part of the budget.
Yeah.
There's two ways you can put a CIP
Yeah.
and then the budget itself.
Okay.
So by the end of it, we'll have used it up. But you're going to have to sign. I should.
Well, that leaves the next trustee with
Nothing in rainy day.
nothing in rainy day.
Correct.
No cash reserves.
I mean, that's basically what the rules are
Anyway.
doing. They're basically making you eliminate your rainy day if you don't. And you're going to have to figure out other ways of saving the money if you want to do any types of projects.
Okay.
Which is like, then the CIP
Well,
is supposed to do that.
The restrictions can do that.
Yeah.
Correct.
But she's telling me she wanted me to spend it down, so that's why I geared it the way it is. So we're going to have just over, at the end of this year, around $520,000 in. I know that's the way it is. What shows this year's budget is right that line there, but that's just the budget. What we've actually spent is only 180,000. You can see that. But we have another around 87,000 more we have to spend.
Now, this isn't the rainy day, is this the rainy day?
This is
fund?
rainy day.
Yes, this is
Yes.
rainy day.
And what it's
Okay.
showing is that you have
Where's
year.
the 187?
Okay, right.
118.
Okay, okay, let me explain. We had a budget of 520. We spent 118,
You see it
right?
right.
18.9 so far,
Yeah.
right here.
Year to
We
date
are
expenses.
expecting to spend another 50, another 12, another 4, and another 10. So that makes it around 87,000 about. So we're going to be close to 200,000 total. Okay, then our budget is at 6,000, 600,000. Oh God, we'll have to get the right form. And that will bring us to $527,000 at the end of this year. We're budgeting 500,000, but we also have a CIP to cover the difference. So we have no money available out of rainy day.
After,
426. And then at the end of that, it should be we should be empty, zero. If there is anything, that I have also included a spending for CIP for another project that will cover whatever is in there. So, and I'll get into that, but that's with the CIP report. We're just dealing with the budget right now. If we want to get into CIP, that's another issue. But okay, 118, yeah. So right now, what we're aiming at is eliminating, either using it up or with different projects and budgeting it will be at zero at the end of 26.
Okay. I understand the logic and the pressure to not give this money away
Mhm.
to roads. At the same time, I think that we have a rainy day, perhaps a couple rainy years at least, in front of us for Fairfield need for housing, electricity assistance. I mean, we have another increase of Duke, another, 8 or 9% coming next year. And summers aren't going to get cooler. So I do wonder if there are strategies to maintain some flexibility for the next trustee to meet those needs.
Sure.
You know, we're just seeing the beginning of what
We are just seeing the beginning of it.
could be a really ugly period. Now, one approach to that is to invest in projects that should buffer our citizens against what's coming. But I'm, that's a tough thing, to see through that. And so would you imagine that with this plan, you will be able to maintain some reserves for the next trustee?
If we don't spend it all.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We almost have to always create some sort of a project that will eliminate whatever we did have in that account to not have to give any of it away. And that's a problem when you're doing with two different accounts. You're drawing with two of them who are at risk. It's easier to try and make it in one account. And then you know that everything else in this area is protected. You're just worried about this general fund. And I think that's one of the reasons you were wanting to do what you were doing, right?
No, I just
Okay,
wanted
tell me
to,
then tell me.
no, I just wanted to have a plan to restrict these funds so
Okay.
they're not vulnerable to being taken. But to Susan's point,
Okay.
she's asking us to have some kind of protective layer, some buffer against the oncoming cost that comes with global warming. And what I heard you say earlier was that we did that by setting more money aside from rainy day for public utilities.
Right. We did that for that and the
Shelter.
AMDAC shelter too.
Yeah,
Those are
so-
the two biggies right now that we're handing out.
So maybe the question is, do we just add more to that public utilities to create
Would that allow
more
us
cushion?
to keep it in that
That restricted?
bucket? Yeah,
Mhm.
keep it in that bucket and
Yeah.
not spend it all, but.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't anticipate, so this year, we did the additional of $300,000 or $340,000 to purchase a property.
Yeah.
Most likely that's not gonna happen.
No, yeah.
So we're not gonna spend down all of that money
Yeah.
this year.
Well, but we're going to partner with LUM on.
Correct.
So we're gonna help
Yeah.
get housing
Yeah.
just in a different way.
Yes, but Rocky and I are talking about dispersing that money, not this year, but next year, just to use some of the cash reserve, if we need to dip into it for
For
this year, because what we're seeing,
Assistance.
yeah, what
so
we're seeing
high.
is we're exceeding we have
Yeah.
already exceeded our budget
Yeah.
for utilities, 5 times what we budgeted
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
And we're also fast exceeding our shelter.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
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 Even putting a stop on the hotel
hotels and stuff.
stays. Yeah.
And it's just gonna get worse. Yeah.
We only have $199,000 left in assistance, and we've blown through, what was last year? Hang on. It's right there.
Does that
445.
seem like a,
Yeah, we spent,
just,
our total budget for the year was 445,000. We're down to 199. So we spent 200 and almost 50,000 in 7 months.
On assistance.
Yeah, and expenses. So
yeah, that's everything. That's shelter, that's utilities, burials, medical,
everything.
food, household
But
supplies.
mostly it's housing,
Correct.
and then
Utilities.
a little second is utilities, and then the others are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then remember, come November, that's gonna stop with the utilities because the energy assistance program kicks
It
in
kicks in. Okay.
Yeah.
through Area 4. But that still leaves us September and October. Well, the rest of August.
Yeah.
September.
It's a lot, and maybe people won't be having to use.
But
this.
what I'm seeing is that people aren't staying on top of their installment plans, and then they get hit with the whole entire bill. So then, I have to decide, do we help this person who wasn't being responsible in paying,
Yeah.
on their installment plan, and they're blowing their money on different things
Yeah.
that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And now they have to pay the whole thing. Like we
Yeah,
had
once-
somebody,
yeah.
we had a client who came in and she owed over $2,000. And she had she already paid I think $1,200. There was $1,300 left. And she's making good money and she wasted a lot of resources. So I said, no, we're not going to help her. One,
Yeah.
she's over income. Two, she did not pay when she was supposed to, her monthly plan.
Did do a due diligence.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the choices I have to make
Yeah.
is, do we help this person or not?
Yeah. I get it. Okay.
There's a few factors which we've been dealing, there are some things that we're coming to realize. We knew that property taxes were going to reduce around 20,000 this year overall.
Reduced by 20,000.
About approximately 20,000.
Like 23,000 is our
Okay, 23.
anticipated.
That we
But
won't get.
We're also.
Anticipated, we'll see.
I don't know. We're also, from our discussion with Miranda,
Mhm.
okay, thanks. We are looking at a reduction in lit this next year, simply because it's going to be reduced. This is like the first time I've ever seen our lit go down in the expecting of next year. It's always been going up now.
Well, no. So, okay, let me clarify
We
that
haven't
because
done it. Yeah.
yeah. So basically the state is waiting on the auditors to do the certified net assessed valuation, the
Mhm.
CNAVs, and they have not. And so what Miranda's telling us that because they haven't gotten those rates, they're estimating 90% of what we're gonna get from lit. So it's their best estimate. They go in just estimating 90% instead of the full 100%. So we may It may be a reduction. I'm hopeful that it's not. The trend has been that we get more each year,
Yeah.
slightly more each year. I hope that trajectory is true for 26. Miranda's just being cautious
When will they
Just because we
know?
don't know. Yeah.
because we don't know.
Well, this month we'll know this. From
She
what
said-
they're saying, we'll know
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah, and I
then
can
we
look up the
either be
CNAP.
More apprehensive or less.
Okay.
I can
But-
look and see if they've updated. But even if I look at the CNAP rates, they're not going to mean anything
Yeah,
to us.
exactly.
It's going to be the lit rates that we want to pay attention to, and that's the local income tax. We
Yeah.
get a good port. That the lit is what we fund our general fund.
Yes. Okay.
We,
What does property tax fund?
I'm sorry.
Where does property tax go?
To our assistance, all of it goes to our assistance.
you know,
Our interest also goes into general.
yeah, interest and lit is what
Interest and lit goes
pretty
in.
much, and then anything Talitha gives us, and any refunds, which we don't have lots of.
Yeah. All right. What's next, Rocky?
The only, well, okay, go to 101.
You want me to go into the general?
Yeah.
Okay.
So are these numbers that are here for the year-to-date expenses through July?
The end of
Yeah.
July, yes.
So we should have, if we were spending everything, 42% remaining.
Correct. Way right.
Yes.
And remember that first column is what we budgeted for this year, 2025. The next column is the 2026, what we project to.
So,
Okay.
spend.
Yes.
in this fund, again, if some of these line items that don't zero out, we can move that into the next year, so that, because it is,
Basically cash reserves. They're what's left. But what's going to happen, Susan, at the end of the year, we're going to take those deficit line items and those surplus line items and balance them out.
Okay. Yeah.
So there will be cash left. I just don't know how much.
the thing that I wonder if there's something we could do to meet, we had worked to get the budget so that it was reflected what we really predicted the cost would be.
Correct.
And what this does is it kind of undoes that.
No, because we still see what we spent at the end of the year. That's true. But when we do the balancing, I guess that's when you see that effect of what you're saying, that reversal. But we still see the true expenses. Am I wrong, Rocky? I don't know if I can explain it better.
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question. Try again.
Okay.
So
Go ahead,
let's say we've had, with the staffing, that we have a kind of predictable percentage increase. And that is here, we're seeing that you maintained that, you didn't add this category.
No, we
You
didn't
did
add it.
below, further. And the same is true with the employment,
The pension.
support line
Yeah.
items,
Mhm.
like for perf and
Yeah.
insurance. So insurance, why you didn't make that go up, I don't know, except that maybe you haven't. No,
I don't know the rates.
Yeah, it went up a little.
No, she's saying insurance, the
insurance
line
line.
below.
Yeah, no, it didn't because, well, look at what we spent so far. We spent way under what we were worried about, with, it's like,
okay, I see. So you really don't predict that next year you will need more than 25,000. So again, these first two categories are reflect a true prediction for what next year's costs will be.
Correct,
Right.
what we're anticipating.
You know, unemployment compensation, I'm reducing it down because we actually lowered our percentage from the year before. And so there may be another lowering. We won't know that until that happens, but it certainly isn't going to go up.
Okay.
So I brought it down and did a calculation to how much we would absolutely have to pay out. And so 800 is enough for what this is. And the same is true on the assistant's salaries. So
It's just a different, a different kind of calculus in these different categories. That for the employment, here's what we expect.
Yeah.
And it should be close.
It should be close.
Yet we come down and there's some vast differences,
Correct.
2.5 times, 3 times.
Yes.
The amount for 26 that we had in 25. And so that's what I was saying, is this padding and
Oh.
you
I see what you mean by padding. Okay, go ahead. All right.
is this protecting funds?
In this instance, it's about our expenditure. So
Yeah.
we know, like, we did not
That helps.
budget enough for supplies. Like
Yeah.
and then as far
And
as
training costs
and training costs, although with
Well, there's some that are gross, like miscellaneous services is like 260% negative already this time of year. So I can see that, but yeah, so I guess across the board, 83%. But then that one isn't increased significantly. Contractual services office.
Oh, office, yeah.
So it's kind of like, what's the paradigm that's used to project the amount for next year?
it's basically our expenditures for the year, what we spent, and then what we anticipate that we'll spend next year. Am I correct, Rocky?
Yeah, and based on the idea of, okay, so what you were talking about was, I was looking at payroll, but that's an example. That's right on. I lowered it to 4,000 simply because there were other expenses from the first year that were unexpected. And we had to pay off Paycom at the end of 23.
Oh, our payroll company. But
Yeah,
let's look at something else. Susan had
ahead.
mentioned another line item.
Sure,
What was
go
the
ahead.
line item that you mentioned, Susan, specific? Oh, contractual service office.
Oh, yeah,
So we maintained it the same, even though we've spent out 83% of it.
oh, I
Right.
see.
You're already going to be in arrears if spending continues.
Yeah,
What's that, like
So that's our,
internet and stuff
no,
like that?
that's our
or-
temp agency, right, Rocky?
Oh,
well,
okay.
parts of, no, we're not paying him out of that. I'm paying him
Oh.
out of the, hold on, care of cemeteries.
Okay.
But as far as that, I'm trying to remember in front of me.
Contractual services. That
Um,
would be,
office, I'd have to look that up. The copier this year. We
Oh.
didn't have the copier last year. We have one now. We got a new one now. We're making contractual payments. That's one thing. that we
Okay.
pay for.
Yes.
The other is, I'm trying to think, there's another thing we have basically a contract for, but, it might have been that I was paying, part of the, internet access out of that.
I got
And
you.
I realized we were really quickly, so I found another source to take that out of. And so I went to that. So we
Mhm.
overspent it on the front end.
I see.
We're not spending
Okay.
as much as we are now.
Yeah, that's true. We did get a new copier
That's it.
from Cardinal.
Yeah,
And-
that's gonna last us another 3 months. the money that's there.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we'll have to take it out of probably miscellaneous, except that's already overspent too. I'm not exactly sure, I've been paying so much attention, I shouldn't push that over, on what we've been trying to figure out with the budget. And then how we're gonna deal with the CIP too. That, but you can see that we have grounds and building and grounds insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta spend a thing.
Pardon?
Building and grounds
3DB
insurance.
3DB.
19,000, that seems high.
But we haven't spent a thing.
What is, what would that?
That's basically
And-
insuring our building and contents.
We did one of the first years we did, we tried to cut back on everything and say, okay, what are we really spending? And then we found that we were overspending in certain categories. So the idea was, do you then add into everything? And then if you need to, move them out of those expenses to fill in the gaps. Does that make sense what I'm saying or not? Okay. I'm going to use supplies as an example. We've overused it by 14,000. And I'm not exactly sure that's a good example. Yeah, we're going to be in trouble. 46, 3, 37. We're going to have to move that money. We had talked about, we knew we were going to have to add to our budget this year for this to cover all our expenses.
We're gonna have to do
Another addition. We didn't hardly add any additions to 101. We added to assistance, we added to rainy day, and there was something else, but we didn't hardly, if we did anything, it was like
Recreation.
recreation fund, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
to
pretty much-
general fund.
Yeah, so we haven't done an additional appropriation to
the general.
101, yeah, general fund, so we're gonna have to do that. And I know that our expense, I mean, we have spent a lot of money out of training simply because of requirement. With all the things going on, you're sending everybody again to the.
Just one day, not
Yeah, I know. just
not
one
for
day, I
the,
know.
and they're
And that's
not
gonna
staying
be-
in
That's
hotels.
the same thing we did.
Yeah.
But a lot more training and going to the ITA presentations that maybe we would have. But again, there's been a lot more travel too. So
So there's
one.
37% left in our general. You don't think
Yeah.
that will carry us?
I don't
Well,
think
that's,
so.
that's close.
It's
close.
3742, it's good, unless you foresee certain expenses that will be.
we're gonna have a big kick out for insurance, but insurance is spread out over 3 different funds.
Health
The
insurance.
Health
Or,
insurance and the general maintenance insurance of the buildings and everything like that.
Yeah, I wonder
Okay.
why there are no charges against it yet this year.
Well, that's, part of it is gonna come onto that.
So it probably
Yeah.
comes out once a year
It
and it
come out
comes
once
out.
a year, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
all
it
at once.
hasn't come out yet. Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it is gonna hit us.
Okay.
And that's $19,000.
But that's just building insurance and stuff like that. The medical,
Covers all the stuff that's inside the building. If it burns down or something steals it, we are covered with it, right?
yeah, so it's this, we're covered here, next door,
Cool.
the cemetery, the truck and
Yeah.
equipment
Okay.
we have. But
the health insurance is pretty much covered inside the budget for salaries
Yeah.
itself. And
is it 19,000 that we spend for Epic for our
we spent 18,000 last
18?
year,
Okay.
you know, and
Yeah.
and they know.
And I added cybersecurity policy too, which is
Who does the insurance?
Epic. It's somebody we inherited.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, local.
I think their central office is up. I want to say,
Boswell?
yeah,
Is that
somewhere
where
up
he-
I
here.
hear him on the radio, so that's why I feel like. they're
Yeah.
local.
I don't know who that is. I'm talking about their agent. The agent who comes from Boswell, right?
Yes,
So
but
just doing a time check.
Yeah.
It is 6:05.
all right. Let's move
What-
on.
what's it?
So those were the two unrestricted funds that we just went over was rainy day
Yeah,
and the
in
general.
Okay.
Okay. And our major categories are township assistance. Let's go to that one
Yeah.
next, okay?
Uh, you should have 3 different pages, but if you look down on page 1, the 0840.1,
The welfare administration?
yeah.
Direct to township, is that where we're going?
No, welfare
Welfare
administration.
Administration. There's an 840.1.2.3, but if you look at the bottom of 1, it shows you your totals for each individual group and gives you total. So that helps you understand what we're spending and what we're doing for each section. The first, of course, is just the salaries for everybody, some stationery printing, more costs there. But we've eliminated a number of the other things that were there before in professional services or other services itself to reduce that.
There are
And-
just a lot of empty line items that I asked
Yeah.
Rocky to remove.
But notice that we've increased the budget, 3, 4, 5, $180,000 for the 101, the general fund from last year, and then we're reducing it here. So we're moving those expenses into 101.
Again, because it's a unrestricted fund.
Yeah.
Help control it.
This is welfare assistance, it's unrestricted.
No, the general is restricted. He was talking about general earlier, that we moved some of our expenses that we were using in our restricted funds over to
The unrestricted.
the
fund.
general.
Yeah, fund. One of them.
But I thought unrestricted was in danger.
Right.
The unrestricted is in danger. That's why we've moved more of our expenses to the unrestricted fund. So for instance,
Oh, I see.
give her an example
I see.
of,
To use down,
yes,
To-
but
yeah.
why not just do the transfer over to this restricted?
We can't do that.
we
'Cause
can't
they
do that.
can't. It's
Yeah,
it's
Can't move between
restricted.
funds.
We can if the board, what's it called?
But that's the rainy day, which we're trying to keep from happening, because it moves it into a fund which is.
no, she's talking about
Something else?
general.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Why can't we move money, cash
Sure.
reserves from general to some of the others? I don't think.
You know,
is that statutory?
I've had different opinions on that. I do know that in some of the legislation I've been looking at, there's some debate on whether or not when we assign money to go into a fund, can we assign it to specific funds instead of everything going into general? And everything I've read says only in certain cases, like cemetery, or when we move part of money at the end of the year, or we're
I think we
from
need to look that
general
up.
to the other.
But I
We
thought
need
it
to
was
ask, is
prohibited.
Eric gonna be here later?
He's gonna
Yes.
be here later. We can ask him. He may not know, but we can ask our
So-
DLGF rep.
Because basically we're building a duplicate line item structure in general to our welfare to our assistance line items. And to me, that is crazy.
I don't know if it's duplicate. I don't know if I would consider it duplicate.
Well, it's for the same,
So,
Some of them are the same, like
Some-
there's 2 travel expenses, there
Okay.
are 2 insurances, there are 2 utility
I see.
services. But when you're dealing with utility services here,
in which one?
this is welfare
In
administration.
welfare admin?
yeah, administration. Yeah, no, we don't use that money to help people. That's just for whatever expenses we have for that section there. But we've been slowly moving it all into out of the general fund instead of this, because this is where we have to pay our salaries and we have to pay the assistants.
Yes,
Yeah,
but we've done, help me think of the word where we,
Transfers?
a transfer
Yeah.
or.
We do that at the end of the year to
Yeah.
balance out those
Yeah.
line
Balance.
items.
And in many respects, I think it simplifies and makes the clarity is there. We're using it for welfare administration, we're using it for direct assistance. If that's where it belongs, that's where it should be.
Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Rocky, but basically the structure of this welfare administration category, we just use it to pay out half of the salaries for our office staff for the,
One of them, a full start on one and half on the other, yes. And
Social Security, unemployment, and that's,
Yeah.
we have some stationery, office supplies, printing and postage.
part of this is like splitting hairs, you know? Legal services. Is it legal services only because you're dealing with something which is strictly for the assistance that you're putting out, that there is a legal expense? Most
No,
of it is,
yeah.
you know, you can't, how do you split that? How do you divide that out?
Yeah, I understand.
And traveling expense, so you're going, that's for assistance too, but it's for the general fund. It's for doing the whole thing. So when I was looking at things like repairs and maintenance or what's the other one? Contractual services, if it really is for something for assistance that we're using for that, then I would have put that expense into that section. And anything else I would have put into general. Simply because that's what this is for. General fund is to take
So
care
I
of
could see if
general
it was a
expenses.
repair for this space, that would be general.
Right.
And if it was for over here, that would be assistance.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a computer in the lobby, and that is for people coming in and signing up, and that's really for assistance people, to
Right.
help them.
Yeah.
It's not, but the computers we use is for, so general, it's for
Yeah,
everyone.
for
It makes
you,
sense.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Right.
and
It's-
Monica.
Mhm.
That makes sense, but there's,
That makes sense.
yeah,
And-
it's
and-
annoying, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like there's all these little
Little
tiny
things,
buckets that Rocky has to
It's like,
figure out.
yeah.
Do I apply it here? Do I apply it there? But there's no money
then
here,
it'll
so
go
I'm going to
through,
apply
yeah.
it here. But then to Susan's point about, is it truly reflective of our expenses? And we're trying to stay true to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Improve
as-
what
as
we're
much
using
as
the money
possible.
for, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's
makes
also
it complicated.
discretionary.
Yes.
Yeah, because there are all these little buckets.
I think that over time we have cleaned up some stuff. It's just unfortunate that there's so many little pockets and little
And we
buckets
can do some further
Yeah.
cleaning
Well,
up too.
and, yeah, I think that it has been a goal, and I now there's a monkey wrench that's been thrown into that. And
Correct.
so we just, I think if we can find methods to continue to be transparent in the
Absolutely.
spending. And this is what drives me nuts
I
about
understand.
the people in Indianapolis is
Yeah.
that they're asking us to be less transparent.
Right.
Yeah.
That's essentially
Well,
it,
that's what it
right?
feels like, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like
That's-
we're
Yeah.
sneaking.
But
Yes.
we're gonna
Sneaking
figure
stuff.
out
And
how
everybody's
to-
everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
and that's
feels-
what
it feels
DLGF
dishonest, but it's not. 'Cause it's-
DLGF is telling us. We anticipate that nobody's going to have any money for roads.
Yeah.
And I, because the legislation says that they're gonna cut roads this already. It's gonna be cut starting next year. They're gonna get less money, and they're expecting to make it up from us,
Yeah.
and we're
But-
saying no.
All right, let's stop
Yeah,
politicking.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go because we're running out of time.
Yeah, we are.
I'm sorry.
We got
Sorry,
15 minutes.
it's not my meeting. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, thank you. Okay.
All right. But we could clean it up a little bit further, like these contractual services.
Like some of the zeros, like
Yeah, some of the zeros we can wipe out, record books,
yeah.
that
I would make it easier to look at.
Yeah.
it'll make it easier, not less cluttered.
Well, we
Yes,
can just
thank-
take the wording out completely. We don't
Yeah.
have to have that line.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And the same is true of the other services and
Correct.
charges.
Yes.
Really, what do we need most of that for?
Yes,
We
exactly.
just, like hide them, just
Yeah.
in case.
Mhm.
In case one day we do need to put money in a record book account. I mean, it might not be for us, but it will.
Yeah.
And in case they need the line for something, I don't know.
And also is using up assistance for what we could use assistance for.
Yes.
I mean, why are you doing this?
Okay. Which one are we moving to next?
Well, we're in point one. We're still there. We've
Okay.
got the second one is we're going from 286,700 to 286,700 to 340. That's your assistant. It's going up 30.
That's on.
It's on the still the where
0.2.
fell admin down at the bottom.
Yeah, your shelter is increasing by 30,000. Your utilities went from 4 to 36,000. That was the biggest jump.
Yeah.
Although their barrels are going to come down. We took out the homeless shelter. That was $6,000. I moved it up basically because
It was just a
we had
one-time
yeah.
service agreement with the family shelter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we gave them $6,000 last year.
Yeah.
We didn't do it this year.
We have to think about 35,000. This is service agreements,
24.5 for the backpack program.
right? And
Yeah.
then another 9,905 for the rest. We have no capital outlays coming out of that at all, which is fine. The next one is 0.3. This is specifically for the homeless shelter next door. Basically, we haven't hardly spent any money in supplies and other charges.
Because we're partnering with other
Yeah.
organizations, right? Is that how
Yeah,
that works?
I mean, there's
That's
really
like a big chunk of. What would that even have been for? That chunk of money.
what, the 2,500 or
We're at 0.3. Is it
Yeah.
the 14,000? Is that what you're talking about? Like
14.5?
yeah, that's for
Yeah,
the
that's
shelter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically
that
it's
was
the
good.
cost of utilities.
Okay.
What else, Rocky?
Which, well, whatever supplies,
Supplies, linens, anything that we need to
Yeah,
replace
that
That
next
seems
door.
really high, but maybe I don't know.
service insurance is somebody
Mhm.
coming in and fixing something.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, and I guess we
Yes.
did have
We
to
have-
we repaired. The
Yeah, we did the
AC.
AC, the water heater.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some
Yeah.
plumbing issues.
And then capital outlays, I don't know what else we need to replace as far as, we replaced
The
hot
furnace?
water, we put.
Faucet, sink.
Yeah, we did that. Anything
But
else?
that looks like
Maybe a
something that
toilet.
maybe there should be something stashed in there because it's a bit of a little rainy day fund that's restricted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case anything else happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
Okay.
because we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it is really, we did reduce where we thought we could and up to supplies in case, because we haven't spent hardly any supplies
Yeah.
in the last couple of years, so that's
Okay.
new. Other than that, okay, so that basically is, if you look at bottom of page one, you see that the total outlay for the assistance is going from 445 to 502.
Yeah.
We spent $246,000 and we only have 119 left.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we're gonna need to have
Do another
more,
tranche.
but yeah, or can I move money inside the fund into different, but we'll address that.
We'll figure that
after
out.
the
Okay.
budget, yeah.
Okay.
Right, that's correct, yeah.
What page is next?
what's next, Rocky?
Well, we're going to 111, well, these are rest of things that you know about. For the fire, township fire and EMS, 1111, we're kicking up the total value to $800,000 instead of $100,000 because we're going to buy the new truck and send it out. That will do. Also give us a little bit extra money in case there's incidentals we don't know about. We hope there isn't. But that takes care of that. That's as simple as that goes.
Okay.
The recreation fund
next-
was zeroed out.
So we're putting 800, where is that coming from?
Well, it's on fund. It's the balance. That
fire?
yeah, we got over $1 million in the fire fund.
To buy that.
No,
truck.
I'm sorry. That's wrong. I'm sorry.
Isn't it like
We
7?
have $698,000
That's what I
in the
thought.
fire fund right now. We got one more payment coming in this year.
In
which
December.
will- yeah, and I
for
Yeah.
remember
property tax.
And then
So
we'll have
it'll be
enough for the
around-
truck, right? Yeah.
that'll be around like 130 or
Mhm.
120. And that'll definitely cook it over the edge. And then, yeah, we're going to reducing the percentage down to just 130,000 coming in for the whole year.
For
in
26.
26,
Okay.
yeah.
Because remember, we did get some backlash for taking the max levy because it did raise people's property taxes and the
One person
unincorporated.
called, right?
One.
One person said he was coming and then ended up not coming, but
Yeah.
I had a handful, 2, 3, who
Oh.
called or emailed me.
And you had justification.
I did. I
Yeah.
told them, hey, we're getting a tanker truck. It is only meant to be used in the unincorporated areas, because you guys don't
If
have
your
fire
house starts
hydrants.
On fire, do you want to bring it?
Yeah,
The
and
fire
so-
department to bring water.
With that justification, that was enough.
And
Yeah.
understand
And
that.
that's
But
that's
and,
understandable. Yeah.
But what they or the one taxpayer I
Yeah.
spoke to asked me to, after that, to go back to the old rate,
And
and so I am, but I'm willing to listen.
Wasn't that what got us kind of in the where we had to raise the levy because we didn't take it the full one? Like we kind of had to do like a what was that called? Backtrack, like because
That was in general because
Okay.
Talitha wasn't, or the board was not adopting a budget. So
Yeah.
it kept reverting back to basically the original budget that was
Yeah.
approved back in 2019.
And now with the legislation that's passed, if there's any reason for that happening, you lose funding if you don't pass a budget.
Mhm.
Now we have
Which
to
makes
pass
sense.
a budget.
Yeah. So I'm asking that we not take the max levy for 26, but I'm open to hearing what you guys
Well,
think.
we were talking about it before. Even if we don't take the max levy, that money still goes somewhere else, right?
It does.
It just doesn't come to us.
It just doesn't come to us.
So they're still paying,
they're
their
just
bill is
But not-
not being changed.
They're not seeing
I
that
guess not in the
double
corporate,
increase
yeah.
from us. I don't know where they're seeing, basically, it's a piece of pie and we asked for a bigger sliver this year.
yeah.
Now, it's my understanding that they are paying less for
Correct.
their fire protection
Than we are.
people in the incorporated.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the same service, they're
Correct.
paying less.
Yes. That's
And in
Yeah,
that
true.
respect, though it maybe seems that does the fire department need us to raise more money for them?
They have not indicated so, and just last week or the week before, Angel and I met with the mayor and the fire chief about creating a fire territory to serve both of our unincorporated areas, and it was shut down.
Yeah.
Both the mayor and the chief said they don't want it. They don't want to tax people more. They're satisfied with what they're getting.
Yeah.
Then maybe,
So, but yes, you are absolutely right. We are subsidizing the unincorporated areas. I know if Angel were here, he would tell me to take the max levy anyway, but we also have to respond to, our constituents and our taxpayers. So
Yeah.
you're right. It is
you
one
heard
person.
From 0.0.
Yes,
From this
But-
tiny group.
Yes.
And
correct.
I
And one
would-
person, but I imagine that one person, probably represents 10 or 20. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and I imagine that most people would say, I want my house to be protected. I want my property to be protected from
Mhm.
fire. I want, if I have a heart attack, to
be
have
helped.
someone
Some people.
come take me to the hospital.
And the fire chief is going to say that's already being done.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so he
That's-
doesn't need the money.
apparently not.
But the thing that we
Not for a
need,
while.
what we're doing is replacing a 24-year-old engine.
Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah.
repaired.
In our 4 years, we're giving them 2 trucks.
Yeah.
So
And turnout gear
yeah. Oh yeah, and the radio and all
and the
that.
radios.
Yeah.
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 Well, because remember, Talitha didn't give them anything
Yeah, that
for the
one. Yeah, I
4
forgot
years
about
that
that.
she
Yeah.
was here. So
Yeah.
we were kind of playing catch up.
Catch up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But
Was she
I,
taking Max on the fire all the time? Was she taking Max
No.
on the fire? Okay.
no,
Mhm.
but it's a board decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about it some more. Okay, one more, because we're gonna
Well,
have to
just
go
to
to.
say that recreational fund, we have
Zeroed
zeroed
out.
out except for 84 cents. It'll just sit there. So we're not gonna do anything with this.
Where
And
do they take it for the roads though?
it's restricted. It's a
Oh,
restricted
okay,
fund.
okay, we're good.
No, yeah.
Yeah, restricted.
We're out of that category now. Cemetery funds, we've upped the budget to 15,000.
Yeah,
And
which is-
we get funds that come in on the budget to that, which will help pay.
We do
for-
get a tax levy for the
Yeah.
cemetery
It's
fund.
Yeah.
just 1,000 more, simply because
It's
We're
expensive
using
to
it up.
run that place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Bear didn't
and
want
this
it
does
over
not,
100
this
years.
only covers the
Yeah.
headstones. It doesn't even cover
Cover any
all
of
of
the
the
other
maintenance. Yeah,
maintenance
or
and
payroll
Yeah,
or,
any of that stuff. Water main break, whatever.
Yeah.
What else is gonna happen in that place?
we're kind
So,
of
It's
doing.
haunted. It feels like.
Go ahead.
It's lovely.
I would like to ask a question regarding the recreation. That is one place where that's restricted fund,
Correct.
where we could stash some funds that could be used towards resilience activities for like, a splash pad in the
Sure.
47906
yeah.
somewhere, or it could be for trees. It could be for planting
Yeah.
Yeah.
trees.
And I think that's where we paid out our Tree
From
Lafayette
it, yeah.
from
So I think
Yes.
recreation.
consider putting some funds
Because it's
because it's protected and,
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
a holding place. I think we should utilize it for that.
Okay.
It's justifiable.
Can we
Yeah,
do
I
that now
agree.
that we've already talked about it? Can we change it?
Yeah, because it's not set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, all,
Hey.
how you doing?
Good.
All right.
Dog.
Well, I am gonna.
We're gonna
will you
end our
adjourn?
meeting. Yeah, we're adjourning our budget work meeting at 6:26.
There you go. You've been at it, huh?
Trying.
No, it's good.
The world of budgeting.